Well, good morning again, everybody, and welcome back to the Trig Podcast. Joy goes to you on this beautiful Monday. Is today March 2nd? Today is March 2nd. Wow, 2026. How about that? We made it to March Madness. Man, do you feel like me? Wow, madness is here. I have my coffee here. It's early in the morning. I'm going to record this and then go on to the next thing and the next thing. But yes, I have my coffee here next to me and thankful to be here with you. Just shooting the breeze, talking, I guess, about I usually am a how-to guy, but I've realized that what I really like doing is just simply talking about my day, and hopefully you can just enjoy hearing that because maybe you can see yourself in my story, etc., and learn or just relate. So this weekend, yes, it was a mixed bag. Mostly good, though, I must say, except for some things that I wish I hadn't said or but let's see. Yesterday, Sunday was great. I did this song. We did it as a band called One Day, which is so beautiful. Maybe you know it. No. One More Day by Elevation Worship. Check it out if you haven't heard it. It's just a beautiful song that makes me always grateful for how God has given me and has given us one more day. The the band who wrote it is called Sons of Sunday, which is out of Elevation Worship meets Maverick City. And the young man who wrote it, at least part of it, who wrote part of it, he has dealt with mental health things, pretty serious stuff, I think, years back. And so he writes this song out of gratefulness that God gave him one more day to live, another chance at life. And I was talking to our team about this, just a brief thing, but I wanted to tell you my similar story, not so much with mental health, but with a surgery I had when I was, I think, 18, 19, an appendectomy that went really south, really bad, and burst. I don't want to gross you out with the details, but basically, my mom was in the bathroom at the hospital just praying, saying, Lord, please don't take my son, because it was pretty bad. But by the grace of God and the prayers of my mommy, God healed me and gave me one more day at life. And I still have this scar, not like those cute little ones these days, but a pretty big one that reminds me of the grace of God and how He gave me one more day. And there have been so many instances of that. When I was, I think, 3 or 4, my mom tells me that there was this huge earthquake, killed thousands of people back in Managua, Nicaragua, donde yo me enamoré. And she was telling me that there was a wall next to my crib or my bed, and the wall was teetering, and she saw the wall fall away from my crib, not towards it. And if it had fallen towards me, it would have been the end of me. There have been at least 2, 3 times where the devil in life wanted to just destroy my life, but by the grace of God, He gave me one more day. And I'm sure you have many examples of similar stuff. I was talking to our team, and one of the girls said how it wasn't quite that life or death, but she's a piano player, and how she broke her wrist, but then it ruined her elbow. And so for that whole season, she had surgery. She thought she would lose her ability to play the piano, which is her livelihood. And yet, how God healed her over time. She didn't lose mobility, and now is fine. And so, whether it's something dramatic or whether it's something that was just scary, isn't it great that God's given us one more day? Then my wife and I went on 2 dates this weekend. We're catching up for lost time. Friday night we went out to get some sushi. It was so beautiful to be with her, and We hadn't gone a date in a while, so it was just so nice. I just came home, or she came home, I guess. I think I was off that day. And I just said, Love, let's go. So we got ready and went to this place here locally. And she's not a big sushi fan, but it was so cute. She ate and had a good time. It was nice as my wife loves to save, and we had a lady next to us. We were ordering some happy hour stuff that was whatever, $20 or something. You know, these days everything's $25. But what was I saying? So yeah, so and then the lady next to us, she said, "Hey, if you order this from the regular menu, it's actually cheaper." And so it was. It was like $6 or something cheaper. So we ordered, and it was just great. My wife loved it, and then yesterday, Sunday after church, we went out to Manhattan Beach, which is down the street here ish, and just to go and walk around and see the ocean and just so beautiful there on a Sunday afternoon. And we went to this place there, a burger place, and had some burgers and salads, and I had a beer. It was just so beautiful to be with my love. I took a picture and put it on my socials. You can check it out at David Trigg on my Instagram, my Facebook, and all. It was just great to be with her. We were going to go with our son, but he was busy, so it was just the two of us. And then speaking of our son, so he and my wife came to church. He sometimes he goes to his own church, but he came to ours. I always love it when he is there with my wife sitting there in the front, and I can do my thing while they're right there in front of me. So I loved it. Plus, speaking of being in front, the my friend Jen and her kids, they normally don't sit in the front, but they were in the front just jamming along, and it was just so great to have this young family with the kids. I think she had two kids, three kids. So yeah, that was just so fun. I felt so encouraged by that. And what all? So talked to my friend Matias about music stuff. That was great. And then talked to my other friend Jason, who's on saxophone, and just catching up with some friends that play. They're so fun and skilled. Saturday, that was a good day mostly. I mean, I felt like you know how I said, like I said some things. I was just too tense with my beautiful wife because I'm not a handyman. Although this thing that I fixed, I had done it like 6 months ago. Basically, above, you know how like above your washer and dryer, there are these cupboards. So they both fell off, just came off the wall. And so I fixed one. They're pretty heavy and old. And Rochelle was saying, let's get some new ones, which I really should have. But of course, you know, I'm like, no, I'll fix it. So I fixed the first one 6 months ago by myself. That's pretty heavy. It's just awkward being in that little corner, little space. And then my wife, Rochelle, helped me, but I was just too tense. Like, oh, just do this. And I was just too bossy. So I apologized to her. And she felt hurt. And so I apologized. And so the last thing I want to do is hurt my beautiful wife with stupid projects. I was just, like I said, kind of feeling insecure, and I was just tense over some work stuff, and I don't know, I was just stressed. But one thing that I've learned is to apologize and to not let those things linger ever in a marriage. And so I love my wife, and it's not just hugs and kisses or working and providing, it's also how I talk to her, how we are with each other. Kindness. She always wants kindness, and sometimes, yeah, I'm unkind when I'm whatever, and so I apologize and I say I'm sorry. It was good. It was good to go through that, although I still feel bad. But she tells me, "Stop feeling bad. It's done." So then on Friday, yes, so that was Friday, Saturday. But yeah, this weekend was beautiful. I think the mixed bag was because I am not a admin or setup or tech guy. I'm a creative, visionary speaker, singer, lover, pastor. And as Easter approaches, there's a million details of setting up this and making sure that this flyer is done and emails are sent, and man, I don't have an assistant. It's a small church, so it just kills me. Because had a pit in my stomach for a week just from dread of missing something, being criticized, or someone telling me, "Yeah, you suck," which happens a lot, and on these things that I'm not very good at. On the other hand, what God has gifted me in, I got a really nice text yesterday after church, just a young man just saying, "Wow, what a beautiful worship experience. World class," he said. And that made me feel great because that is what I do best and where I shine. So I thank God for all of it, even the bad things. But so what I did this morning to kind of work through all the pit in my stomach is I began to just write down some names of people I can help, some volunteers, just organize myself instead of feeling like woe is me, I have to do all this and I can't do it. Just work together, call some people, reach out, and see who can help. So that's how I can use my skills. And that is very natural for me. I'm very gifted at recruitment and disciple making and team building. Speaking of friends, another thing that I really, really enjoyed, and I must say I was so grumpy going into it. Not going into it, but just anyway. So last week, someone recruited me to record these voiceovers for an Easter thing that's coming. And really, that part was just awesome. I was just grumpy over setup and tear down, of course. But anyway, so last night we had, I think it was 3 parents, men, young parents from the school. And I love the school because, yeah, there's just young people, young parents, young families. I taught at the school for 3 months. I was a sub 3 years ago. It'll be 3 years ago this August. And so it was great. I hadn't met these men. They, 2 of them had a tech background in podcasting and sound and AV, so that was so fun just to shoot the breeze with them. And then, yeah, I was on Logic and used my SM7B and blah blah blah, and boom, we got it done. It was just so fun to record, and now I'm gonna go and clean it up and post, like one of them said. And it was just so fun. Just really nice to do that, the voiceovers and blah, blah, blah. So that was a really nice, nice thing. But, I'm just reporting what I did. I don't know how engaging that is. I think what I really want to say is how I struggled and how I've been managing my stress over details. If you are a creative, visionary type, then I think you'll understand. If you are more of an industrial doer kind of admin person, then you might not relate to this. But when I have so many details like I have for Christmas and Easter, basically, I get really overwhelmed. I get in my head and my emotions. Plus, there were a couple of emotional things that happened with the family that I just felt, oh no, I'm not being a good father, or they need me, and yet here I am stuck at work, kind of thing. And I just have a hard time letting go of my heart, of my love for my wife and our kids. And so when I was just when I get overwhelmed with emotions, I get very resentful, very upset, very angry. And because I feel alone, basically it comes down to feeling alone. And I've been a part of big churches, and you have assistants and you have a team here, or in any small church, you don't. Every person, every staff member is on their own. And we don't really work together because, I don't know, it's not the culture. So, and of course, I'm a lover, so I like to help other people. And I shouldn't say that we don't work together, but with admin, of course, nobody's going to come and print my flyers. And it's not even that. There might be people, but just getting to that part of my brain it's kind of like a commute. If you work, like for most of us, if you work 20 minutes from work, you're happy from home. But if you have to drive an hour plus, you're just so depressed. That's how admin feels to me. I can do it. It's doable, but and it's not every day that gets this bad. It's mostly Christmas and Easter. But I resent the whole commute thing. And so I've been in that space for a week. Plus, yeah, criticism. And when I'm criticized over those things that I'm not really good at, it destroys my soul. So what do I do? Well, I put my head down. I write things down. I go to counseling. I talk to my wife. I'm not really working out or eating healthy, so that's not good. I chat GPT. I talk to my sister. I also am not praying enough about it. So I'm doing it on my own, you could say. But I try to, yeah, organize my thoughts, think through, okay, what do I have to do here? Who can I talk to? And then I go for it. I'm really good at details. It's ironic. I'm really good at details. It's just I like to work in a team. I like to boss people around. Not boss, but I like to have a team and say, okay, you go, you go, you go, like in Ratatouille. And when I'm alone, then I get really depressed and angry and upset, overwhelmed. I want to check out that 3 that goes to the 9. But instead, I'm learning to say, no, wait a minute, let me go to the 6. Okay, who can I work with? Go to the 6, a healthy part of 6, the loyal community, the we, not the I. There is no I in team, but there is in win, like Jordan said. So that's what I've been doing. I made a list this morning. I hardly slept last night. I'm a little sleepy. But I woke up at whatever that was, 4, and made a list of names, and I'm going to then call them to say, hey, can you help me with this, and blah, blah, blah. And of course, volunteers are volunteers. It can't just be there for you, but still. So that was helpful. That was really nice. So that's how I'm dealing with that stuff. And then I think the bigger picture, what I have to get in my head, which I struggle with, is, this is just temporary. My grandma would always say, no sacrifice is forever. This will be over literally in 4 weeks, March Madness. It'll be over soon. It's just Easter, April 5th. After that, it's game over. That's it. There's nothing to do till the fall. But I get overwhelmed because it's not my area, meaning my giftedness. I resent it, all that stuff. I'm not getting to my guitars and my songwriting and my family and my working out. I'm not getting to the things I'm great at. But I need to just be more thoughtful. Hey, this is just for now. Once April hits, I'll be good. I can do my songs April, May, June, July, August, September, October till November, and then here comes Christmas. That's a long time to just be chill. I lose perspective. I'm so emotional. I'm so in my feelings. I'm such a creative and a visionary and a feeler that I lose perspective. I lose the forest for the trees. But I talk to myself all the time like I'm doing right now just to work through it. And so maybe that's a tip, a pro tip from an Enneagram 3 feeler, heart type that likes to get things done and doesn't like anything to get in the way of that. And then also, yeah, apologizing, like I said, enjoying, having fun. Maybe I'll close with this, being surprised by joy, surprised by people. The recording that I did last night with these young men, these young parents, was just beautiful. I enjoyed I think Christian, Rob, and Ray, just so fun to hang out with these guys. I've seen them. I know some of their kids. And to actually be in a room with them and record and just saying hello, shake their hand and say, hey, let's catch up was just so fun. So fun. I'm such a lover, like I said, and I love connecting. And those are the kind of guys I would love to just go and spend time with. And go and, I don't know, play in a band or let's record or whatever it is. Let me go check out your space. So even in the middle of all the overwhelm of this season, what if God surprises you? Imagine if. What if God surprises you? Why wouldn't he? What if you were an optimist versus a negative person, whatever the opposite of optimism is, negativity? What if you were an optimist versus a negative Nancy? I'm such a negative Nancy, no doubt about it. And what if I was surprised by joy, surprised by relationships, surprised by hope? What if this week something beautiful is going to happen? Another thing that did happen that was beautiful. Speaking of, I had one of my singers who was struggling with some church stuff and family stuff. And she said, I don't think I can sing anymore. Last week she came by and she's like, hey, put me on the schedule. I'm like, wow. So there you go. Surprised by hope. What if this week, in the middle of all the overwhelm that you feel and emotions and anger and frustration at work, at home, in your personal life, what if God surprises you? Imagine if. Imagine when He will. Count on it. He will come and surprise you. He did for me. He can do it for you. So I hope that helps. If you would like my coaching, I'm here always. Trig@davidtrig.com. You can just email me or go to my website, davidtrig.com. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you next time. Adios.